Hello and welcome to The Truth About the Economy. My name is Chris Berg. Today I'm very excited to introduce you to the author of a book titled The Secrets of Economic Indicators, Mr. Bernard Baumohl. Mr. Baumohl, thanks for joining me today.
Glad to be with you.
Obviously some very interesting times here going on in our economy, both domestically and internationally. And what are some of the common economic indicators I should be looking at to get an idea of, from a micro standpoint, what I can be doing to preserve my wealth or grow it or increase it?
As far as specific indicators to watch, and this is really the key question that a lot of people ask me now, what are the signs that I need to look for that will tell me that the worst is over in the financial crisis and that the economy is starting to turn around? There are a couple of indicators, but you need to kind of look in the book to locate where they are on the web. But there's one that's put out by the National Association of Home Builders. These are the guys who are on the front lines in terms of the housing market. And they come out with a home builder confidence index every month. And in that series, they have a special subsection that focuses on traffic of prospective buyers. That is, people walking into the showrooms of home builders. They want to take a look at models. And what we're looking for is an increase. It's now at a record low level. As of October. What we're now looking is to see whether in the next 2 or 3, 4 months we will begin to see an increase in the amount of traffic of people beginning to walk in to these showrooms. That is one of the first signs, one of the leading indicators that are telling us that, hey, it looks like people are finally ready to buy, that they appear more confident, that lenders will provide them with mortgages, because if that were not the case, they would be wasting their time going into showrooms. So this is one important sign that we look at. The other, again, is related to housing. We look at the number of unsold homes out there. Is that inventory of homes that are simply languishing on lots, is that inventory starting to shrink? We've already seen the numbers begin to stabilize in the last couple of months. That is, they're sort of holding somewhat steady on an average basis. That's a good sign. At least it's not deteriorating. But will that number begin to shrink? Because that's what you need to see, is that number begin to get smaller. That will help provide some increases in prices for homes down the road. One of the most interesting statistics that I think everyone should track if they're interested in getting a heads up on where the economy is going is in the jobs report. Now, there is one specific subsection in the jobs report that always tends to lead the rest of the economy by at least, I'd say, 5 to 6 months, and that is temporary employment. Many people don't focus on that, but temporary employment is one of the job sectors that is tracked on a monthly basis. And the reason why that is followed so closely is because generally when the economy starts to turn up, many companies won't hire yet. The reason they won't hire is because they're not yet convinced that the economy is actually turning around. They may see some preliminary signs of improvement, but they're not ready to commit to hiring workers on a permanent basis. It's too expensive because the salaries are usually higher, and then there are the benefits. So what they will do instead is, if they see that demand for their products and services are starting to increase, they may first decide to hire temporary workers. It's cheaper. When we see an increase in temporary workers, that's a very good sign, because typically it's followed about a half a year later by an increase in permanent employment. So in that sense, that's one indicator that we would follow carefully. There are a bunch of others, needless to say, but I just wanted to give you a couple for an example.
Thank you for listening to the excerpt from this interview. If you'd like to listen to the rest of this interview and get the truth on many other subjects that will make a positive and profound impact on your life, please be sure to click on the banner on this page that states Test Drive VIP membership free for 30 days. Again, that's Test Drive VIP membership free for 30 days. Thank you, and let me be the first to say, welcome to the Truth About Community.